Hey guys, with video card prices on the decline and used video cards coming down in price, is it safe to buy them? Keep in mind, anything that was specifically, and I mean really check, 8 gig video cards probably were mined. So today, I want to just go over what I do when I buy used video cards and what you got to look out for too, because sometimes if they don't say it's been mined, just say, hey, any chance someone mined on this card? And they should answer that. And if they don't, or they just completely lie, well, that's where you have to decide to make the decision on buying them. Now, I bought this one off eBay. I bought this one off eBay. Both these have passed my test. Today, I always wanted a Vega 64 working. I have a Vega 64 up there on my shelf, but it has some issues. So I just ordered this one. It came from Quebec, Canada, and I'm going to pop it in and run the test that I run, which I've done on these here, and it's a burn test, so it just runs them for a while, a little hard for the purpose of crashing. And that way I can check thermals, everything. If this card passes, well, this Vega 64 would be my new encoding card, and I'll explain why. These things are really quick when it comes to video editing. And I use a Vega 56 actually for my server, my stream server, to get video up at 1080p, almost no delay. Whereas if I used any other card that I tried under that, it was 720p no matter what I did. So what we're going to do first, we're going to pull out the 580, drop this guy in, and start everything up and get the drivers all right. And then we're going to do a burn-in test. Guys, the reason why I keep a 580 in the test bench is because it has been in there with all of my AIO reviews, water-cooled reviews, fan video reviews, and I feel that it is necessary to keep the same chip. I think that's a 2600 or 2600X, and this video card with the B450 board. I know it's not at now the modern, but I don't want to redo all my data, and I feel that having to have the greatest and newest video card or motherboard for this is not necessary. I thought there for a second it was all dusty. Alright, I don't know if this lights up, but I think it does. I'm hoping it does, because that'll look really, really, really cool. I've always wanted a card that lit up right there, just saying Radeon. Nothing else. Now, the other downside is, of course, if this card's working, I'm going to get the liquid cooler and custom liquid cool it for the Threadripper editing system. So this would be the card that would go in with the Threadripper. Alright, let's get at least one screw in there. Now, when I look at the ports that are actually removed on it, there's another telltale sign too. Sometimes you won't see a lot of them on like the cap's gone on a mined card, or on a card where it was just used for gaming, and it looks like the USB, or the HDMI, sorry, was never ever used. I had to unplug the HDMI. So, DisplayPort being used would hopefully tell me that this card was used for gaming. Now, I'm just doing this video, and I'm trying to make it as sweet and smooth and you know, easy as possible. This is what I do to test video cards for me, to make sure I have no issues with a product I got from eBay, and then having an argument and whatever. I got the card this morning, so I'm testing it pretty much right away because of that. So we're going to use the Be Quiet test bench. That's right, did I say be quiet? Be quiet for all your cooling, power, and housing needs in the PC business. Just visit them. Yeah, visit them at their website. So what I use is OCCT. and I'll do a just video card burn-in. So here we have the software. Now, down here, so you can just run a full OCC, but I just want to run 3D, okay? And that's the video card. So I'm looking for error detection, shader complexity, I just leave it there. So now we're ready. Let's go. You're gonna have your monitoring going here, telling you what's going on. Memory test for some reason there. Memory used 25 megabyte. Oh, okay. This is nothing. We're at 128 frames per second looking at this weird whatever it is. So the other bonus here too is you can see a few other toys at the same time. It's ramping up now. So far, 0 errors. On another note too, this is also a very good test for your whole computer. Because if your RAM's bad or there's something glitchy with the RAM, it'll crash. If your CPU has an issue, it'll crash. It's also good for pushing the system in every piece of hardware you have, burning it in and checking for stability. I want to see how bad it is. I'm not stopping it yet. It's still running. I'm going to turn on my laser light here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. See it? Woo! Well, that's checking for temps. And that's around 60 degrees Celsius here. Still blowing really hot. Going into here, 77. I got a 77 out of that so far. Keep in mind, that is not even... Wow, that is hot. That is not even the temperature of truly what's inside. This is literally me measuring the outside where there's, stale air of some sort. I'm still in the 60, 70s going up here. So she got warm. She got really warm. And now we're 11 minutes and a half in. I'm going to stop this now. But the bottom line is, this is emulating that for 10 strong. Well, I did 11 and a half minutes, but 10 strong minutes is what I like to run all my new hardware on the software and burn it in. That means my brand new motherboard, my CPU, my brand new RAM, everything, even the cooler and the pump. How's it performing? This is going to tell me everything. And you'll know if even a brand new computer can be faulty. So my answer to buying on eBay, especially now, is be careful. One, the Radeon RX 6600s right now, I got this one for $300 2 months ago. But this card's $300 in the store right now. So I wouldn't buy it on eBay at this point. I would just order one off Canada Computers, or in the States, you guys are probably getting them for, who knows, $200 or $250. And then this Challenger 8 gig 5500 XT. Now, people might wonder why I bought it. I got it for $200 while the cards were still $300-ish. So I bought this one before this one, so it's probably 3 months ago. And it's an 8 gig card. I was buying it for either the server or, it depends on your needs, but it actually decently games. So I'm semi-impressed. But the rendering on it it blew away the 580 for encoding. So that comes down to RAM more than anything, because this is all my test cards that are in systems are 4 gig. Anything that was 8 gig was put into gaming machines. So bottom line is, now with this card now coming in, this card doesn't need to go in the editor anymore, or this one. I can keep these for other builds or job things that I'm doing, or fancy whatever builds for you guys and whatever. Straight up, the bottom line is, be careful when you're buying on eBay or any other used market, whether it be Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or any of those other ones that are in the States. I forget all the names here and there, but there's a bunch of like Craigslist and that kind of things too. Just be weary, because right now people are dumping video cards hardcore for one reason. They were mined. Mining's dead. With video cards, they move on. You're getting their junk. Or are you? Oh, and one more quick note. If you've seen this card, 8 gig, gigabyte 580, wow! They were selling for like $600 Canadian 2 months ago. I can get one now for $150. No way. Take a look at the vendor and see his other selling. And if there's a bunch of these or a bunch of different cards or whatever, he was mining on them. Keep that in mind. Nobody's dumping 10 cards because they were gaming. That's just a little pointer I wanted to point out. So anyway, I just want to end with that. Be careful, be safe, and God, test your hardware and hold the sellers accountable. So anyway, guys, till next time, game over. Or game on. See you in the next one.